Last week we unexpectedly turned into a sloop. Bloody hell. And once the hysterics wore off, we realised the true extent of what this could mean for our imminent sailing plans. However, after a few days full of uncertainty, we finally found a TIG welder to fix our crack. And we actually do have a welder booked for tomorrow. While we were waiting for him to come, it was time to tackle another equally huge job. The electrics. We're Becka and Zach, a couple who recently, after years of dreaming, bought ourselves a beautiful 40-foot Colvic Victor sailboat. Life is short and the world is wide, and there are so many lessons to be learned. Laughs shared, people met, adventures had, and nautical miles to be sailed. And this is our way of sharing it all with you. Welcome to the Tay-Lee. Bloody doing it! This mission started back in March when we installed our new DSC VHF radio. So let's take a trip back in time so you understand the full extent of our electrical conundrum. Should we see the moment of truth? Okay, do you want to turn it on?
You do it.
Do you not trust what I've done?
No, I do trust what you've done.
Well, it's flashing. That means something's working. If there is a green light, it indicates that there's not enough power to it. So what we did was we disconnected it and took it to the battery, and it did power up, which is almost really annoying because it means now we're going to have to put in a new wire pretty much directly to the battery. Obviously the old set worked because it was a lot older and it didn't require as much power. A little hurdle, but that's okay. What I will show you is 12-volt wires are like this, red and black, and what's happened here, one of the previous owners has wired in these, which are 230-volt wires rather than these, which are 12 volts. So that's fab. I'm learning so much. I feel like anyone in their 20s needs to get themselves a boat if they want to learn just absolutely everything about plumbing, electrics, weather. Look, this has been our light reading recently. It's actually super interesting. As much as books, one of our friends, Mark and Sarah, they lent us this, which is Boat Owner's Mechanical and Electrical Manual. And I'm kind of going through this and trying to absorb as much as I can. Friends, family. Hi Dad. I'm dabbling at some electrical wiring.
Oh gold.
And you guys have helped us figure out our electrical saga. We've also soaked up a load of information through Skillshare, who we are so grateful for us sponsoring today's video.
So we were looking online, we wanted to find a way to learn about all our electronics on board, and we came across Skillshare.
We actually found the perfect class for us. It was the Ultimate Electric Circuits course for electrical engineering by Ahmed Mahdi. He was so engaging, and we have already learnt so much about DC circuits, charge, current, voltage, why you would wire something in parallel or series, and so much more. Because it's virtually, obviously, we can fit it around our boat jobs, which are a lot.
It was nice to get back to basics and discover some knowledge I think I used to know when I was younger, but then go further than that as well.
We didn't have to pay an electrician to come out and fix it for us. We didn't also have to pay to go to, you know, an actual place to learn the course. So it's been really lovely doing this online.
And obviously when we're in the middle of nowhere, we kind of want to have a good grip on all of our electrics here and everything like that. So it was invaluable to us. So Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes and members who come together to help people learn new skills.
I know I've been asking my dad for loads of help, but even now we've done this course, I can actually offer him advice and help, which he's just surprised by. He was like, how do you know that? And I'm like, Dad, we've been on Skillshare. So a little hack there, if you want to impress your parents, head over and join Skillshare. We've been lucky enough to get you guys a 1-month free trial to check out Skillshare. We really would recommend it. The first 1,000 people to use the link in our description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Right, let's get back to exploring electrics on the boat. Another day, another job. So I'm currently at Forceford Chandery. I'm at the boat shop. We've decided to go digging around with our VHF and AIS aerials, and the reason is because everyone else around us has really long ones and we have a really short one and we want a long one. No, that's not the reason. I went up the mast last night and took loads of photos of the aerials, and I think I've, through the power of Google, found it. It's a V-Tronics VHF Heliflex stub antenna. And when I googled it, it says like it's for racing yachts, so I'm not quite sure why we had it. Loads of reviews say it's as good as one of the flexi ones, but I feel like the range is a bit limited. I don't know whether that's just our location, or I feel like we're not hearing as much as we should, so that worries me about going off and not being able to transmit as far. That was a successful visit. We now have a shiny new V-Tronics Whip Flex masthead antenna tenor kit. The guys in there said we should definitely be getting a lot more communication on the VHF than we are, and they said there was something called Warship Wednesday, and all the warships communicate together on a Wednesday. I don't know, it sounded really funny, and they said, oh yeah, it's right by you, you should be hearing this, and we're like, we don't hear anything. So it's set off alarm bells in my head that actually I'm so happy we've looked into this now. This one round here is actually broken. That was the one that was completely corroded with water in it. Yeah, this white one's gone. Shall I just tape it really tight with duct tape to this one and then slide that one down? But I think there's only one white. Oh, the Windex is a white wire too. That's so annoying. I did it. We now have a long aerial. Yes, that one. Lost squeeze just for good luck. Done.
Happy?
Thank you. Yeah, very happy. A bit of a pain. So it's now a few hours later and the wire has now been run all the way through the mast, through the headlining and along to here where it's going to go through to the nav desk. I've written on the VHF aerial in 2022 so we know when it was installed. The old wiring was actually for a TV aerial, so not the VHF, not the AIS or anything. I don't know really what the AIS was hotspotting off of, but whatever we do now has to be significantly better. Look at that length. That is just perfect. Oh my god. Oh, it takes me back. It does, to school. We've just tested it with Martin's dad, who's out on the water at the moment, but he's quite far away and we could hear him. It was just a bit crackly. He's gone to his boat now just across the marina and he's going to speak to his dad and see if we can hear. We're just trying to figure out where the issue's coming from, whether it's just the distance, whether it's where he is because there's lots of headland between us, or whether it's something to do with our aerial, which it shouldn't because it's brand new. But yeah, we're just diagnosing and troubleshooting the issue.
It's quite clear here at the moment. Do you get the same background noise now? I've not got my engine on, so I'll try.
So it's much later and we've figured out exactly what the issue is. It's the splitter. We've taken it apart and tested it with a multimeter and this splitter doesn't work, so that's why we weren't getting any signal through the new aerial through that splitter. Plugging the new aerial straight into the back of the AIS makes the AIS work, and plugging it straight back into the VHF makes the VHF work great. So it's the splitter that's the issue, so we'll just get a new splitter and we should be absolutely good. Feeling happy. And also the VHF wasn't getting enough power, so I bought 6mm tin wiring to wire it directly back to the battery. However, completely wrong. Martin had a look on the inside of our control box and one of the negatives to the VHF just wasn't connected to anything at all, so it was somehow sucking it from somewhere else. So now that's on, the VHF turns on amazingly every time. So yeah, very happy and relieved that we've got that ticked off the list. So.
That new aerial installation went so smoothly that we decided to utilise our mizzen being down and wire up a second one on there. This would mean that we could do away with the splitter box and wire it straight to the AIS and also have a backup should our main one fail. I've just got my 4 new rivets. Mads from Sail Life has lent me one of his tools again. It's been amazing. Thank you, Mads. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these in. Look, go on, see what he means about the 6mm ones. They would have been awful to do.
Yeah.
These are hard enough as it is.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere. Oh, you know how it goes with boats. You can't have too much success all at once. At least sometimes a job has to be incredibly frustrating, exhausting and defeating. Let's be real. So here we are. Hey. Yeah, kinda. They can't weld it.
You can't weld it?
No.
Why not?
There's too many contaminants, so where the water's gone in and dried and then salt has been like left, there's just too much crap in there basically, and he's like cleaned it back. And I said, well, could you cut the section out? And he was like, yeah, but then I could cut the section out and then there would be too much contaminants in that bit. And then he said you could just keep going and the whole mast would be lost. He cleaned it back and he said usually like it will like bead like normal, and it just wasn't beading. It was like spluttering and bubbling, and like there's just too much crap in the metal.
Yeah.
He was so nice.
That's
He
really
like shook
nice.
my hand. He was like, good luck. But like they tried their absolute hardest, but it just wouldn't work. Having spoken to a marine engineer and another TIG welder and establishing that the crack only went a maximum of 25% of the way through, we very quickly changed our plans for the repair. We were now to ensure it was free from corrosion and then fill it with epoxy putty before spraying it with a protective lacquer. Did you look at the top as well? Was there any corrosion at the top?
No.
We would then monitor it, and if it got worse, we would drill a hole in the top of the crack before then considering either a new spliced in section or entire new mast. However, after 10 days and nights of wondering about the outcome of this mast, it has started to take its toll on us. It's now 8:30. We're still working on the mast. I think the only way I can sum up this mast fixing has just been the feeling of defeat. I felt defeated a lot through this. From even just taking it down to now, just, yeah, lots of defeat. Like we are exhausted, and people keep saying, "Oh, you won't get it up in time tomorrow, or you won't leave on time," and it's like, yeah, we will. But like, this is life right now. Then it could be worse, but it could also be better. But tomorrow we'll get it back up, and that's all that matters. It is 7:30 in the morning, and it is mizzen mast back on day. Woohoo! We've got quite a lot to do before then, hence why it's so early, but we're looking good. The mast is clean, the radar reflector is white, we've got a new aerial on, ooh, slazzy, and this is how this is looking. Actually, we're really happy about this. It's smooth, it's strong, feeling confident in our DIY mast repair.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
You happy with that, Zach? Yeah, happy?
Yeah. It's finally drained.
Woohoo! Look at those lovely drain holes. Really happy with that.
Does look really good. You can barely tell what we've done there as well. You can obviously tell if you look at it, but... Crack fixed, new wire gland and the step installed, and it was finally time to get the other 50% of our mast back on Tay-Lee. So I'm going to go down this way. Back out, slow down.
Yeah.
Someone commented in last week's video about it all just being small potatoes, and despite a few tears, it really is. So here's to mizzen mast causing chaos, sheer determination, and small potatoes. See you next week.